Cock and Bull, Funny Times, History Laugh.
All right, we are going to have one of those, guys. Strap in. It's going to be one of those days.
Welcome to the Brother Hour with Nathan and Spencer. I am the Spencer, the younger one.
I'm Nathan, the older one.
Now, Benjamin Rush, Nathan, was born January 4th, 1746 in Philadelphia County of British America.
Ooh, okay. Welcome to America.
Now, if we're talking, Nathan, about a guy from Philadelphia, born in the mid-1700s, can you guess what little tidbit of history is gonna come up next?
I mean, I feel like I can't, bullshit. Yeah, Benjamin Rush was a founding father. I'm aware of who Benjamin Rush was. I'm aware, now, I say that like I'm an arrogant asshole. I'm aware that Benjamin Rush was a guy that was there during the Revolution. Also, he was a doctor, which is a favorite of ours. Mm-hmm. That's about the extent of things I know about Benjamin Rush. So, we've now covered it.
Now, you are correct. He was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. He was a self-proclaimed civic leader, physician, politician, humanitarian, social reformer, and educator.
Well, can you be a self-proclaimed, social leader? I mean, he was he signed the Declaration of goddamn Independence. Are there anyone with better bona fides for social leader than him?
Now, he served as the Surgeon General of the Continental Army and was the founder of the Dickinson College.
Oh, well, I mean, everyone knows Dickinson College.
Which remains a proud liberal arts college to this day.
A lot of Dickinson alums listening? Give us a shout out on the reviews, where you are.
I did notice, however, that the Dickinson College's mascot is the Red Devil, which I'm not sure how such a thing could exist from the 1940s to the 80s in this country, but anyway.
The Red Devil, okay, all right, well.
Rush was, as I said, a physician. Rather politely, his Wikipedia page says this of his contributions to the medical world, quote, "His approach prepared the way for later medical research, but Rush himself undertook none of it."
Whoa, okay, that is worrisome.
That's kind of
when your work prepares the way for early medical research, what the fuck are you doing?
That's kind of another way of saying that he had really shitty ideas. For example, he was a proponent of bloodletting and mercury chloride for the treatment of mental illness.
We will throw plenty of stones at Mr. Rush throughout this endeavor.
Here it comes.
But if we accuse him of bloodletting being the taboo thing he did, I'm pretty sure they all did that.
No, that's true. They all did that. That's how our first president died.
That's why George Washington is no longer with us.
Well, Nathan, it's also because it's been about 250 years since people don't live that long.
That man was literally immortal until they got the leeches on him.
I can't believe
he rode into battle and literally 8 bullets for fun. Because he just had he had no self-preservation instinct and survived that war. He would have lived forever had we not fucking leeched him.
This explains all of the Civ games where America's leader is eternally young every time you talk. It's 3,000 years in the future? Hey, you're still looking good.
No, hold on. Let's get something clear. Part of his curse was he never looked good.
That's true.
He came out looking like a 75-year-old woman from day one and just hung there, Dorian Gray style, until we leeched him.
Now, how his mother survived birthing a 7-foot giant.
Don't understand.
And there's that story of the cherry tree. I don't know how you can reprimand somebody who is 4 feet taller than you.
That seems difficult.
Despite the age gap, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know how you maintain your gumption.
Yeah, but you gotta it's like when Superman's dad had to discipline him. It's dude, come on, but you gotta try.
Now, interestingly enough, Nathan, on the topic of bloodletting and mercury chloride, it was discovered...
Oh, it wasn't on the topic of Superman? I was waiting for your sweet Superman segue there.
He found that most patients were often too insane to be treated by the mercury. That seems like a very convenient falsity.
Oh, good. They were too crazy for my crazy syrup to work. Whoops.
Oh, no, sir, if you were just a little less cuckoo nuts, I swear this mercury might have fixed you.
Speaking of... All right, I'm sorry. We speak of it too damn much. Civilization. Mm-hmm. Mercury is a luxury resource in civilization.
It is.
Which means, along with spices and incense and silk and sugar, what the fuck did we do with mercury other than thermometers and trying to fix crazy people and hats? Those are the three things.
It's the hats. It's got to be the hats.
But it can't be just a hat. Why do we need mercury for hats? I have hats now. I assume they don't have mercury in them.
Nathan, do you know how big of a deal hats were back then? Without a hat, you weren't a man.
I've heard the dollop. I'm aware of how big a deal hats are.
And there you have it. If you don't have mercury, how are you going to make your hats? We hadn't reached that point in tech yet where we could make mercuryless hats.
I've seen a coon skin. I just assumed you skinned a coon, wrapped it around your head, and went forward.
I mean, that or straw, but if you wanted a nice, gentlemanly hat, I would assume you need mercury to make that happen.
I mean, I wish I had some facts to refute that, but damn it. I mean, I don't know a lot about a lot. We've established that.
It's very true. You are the more educated man, though, in this discussion.
Yeah, and we've proven how big of a waste of money that was. I want a refund on my student loans, thank you.
This whole show is actually a portfolio of a case against Missouri State University so Nathan can get his money back. We're working on it. We don't quite have enough evidence yet, but...
Slowly but surely, Dr. Dudash, I am coming for that degree.
Now that might lead you to assume, Nathan, that mercury probably doesn't cure mental illness, but Rush would likely respond to that criticism with a healthy dose of his own medicine called Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts? Now, what are those, you're surely asking?
No, I'm not. They're a thing that Zeus throws. I know what they are. I've seen things.
Well, then let's take a quick detour. Remember Lewis and Clark, Nathan?
I've seen that movie where Chandler from Friends and Chris Farley do things, so yeah.
That completely went over my head. What the fuck are you talking about?
Have you not seen the movie? I'm pretty sure it's called, Westward Ho or Dumb Fucks in the Forest or, every other 90s movie. I can guarantee you there is a movie where Matthew Perry and Chris Farley are Lewis and Clark. It's a thing.
I mean, it probably is.
I'm Googling it. Chris.
And I've lost him.
Farley. Almost Heroes, 1998. Almost Heroes.
Almost.
Directed by Christopher Guest.
I'm learning all sorts of things today that I'm not sure I have the space in my brain for anymore.
It has a solid 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That is solid. That is rock solid.
A solid 8%. That is good. Now, more importantly, I feel like if you were to focus on... Hold on, we'll get there. So Christopher Guest directed that, and that has just been, great everything else. He fucking, Spinal Tap, Best in Show, Waiting for Guffman, Princess Bride, for fuck's sake. I mean, the guy basically is just, nothing but bangers, and then shits out Almost Heroes for, 2 seconds.
Almost Heroes must have been where he tried every experimental film trick he had been, too scared to try on the big blockbusters, and and it backfired.
No, that's the thing. All the experimental film tricks are in all his good movies, and that one is just pure bad popcorn. That movie plays on TBS 45 times a year. And that's not a good sign. You don't want your movie on TBS that often.
No, very true, very true. Now, the famous tag team adventure duo, Lewis and Clark, let's get back to them.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we're talking about them.
Turns out that while they were doing all their exploring and mapping and cataloging fish, I think, they had this neat pastime.
Oppressing natives.
Well, trading guns for sex with Native American women. You pretty much had it.
I mean, I was pretty damn close.
Now, naturally, that harmless little rumpus led to frequent syphilitic outbreaks among the crew. So,
good. Wait a minute. Oh, no.
How do you treat that, is my question, Nathan. How do you treat that?
How do you treat syphilis?
Yeah.
Penicillin, I'd assume.
Well, before we had penicillin, we had Benjamin Rush and his mixture of calomel, chlorine, jalap, and mercury, which put together becomes Dr. Rush's Thunderbolts.
4 of those, all right, there are 4 ingredients. 2 of them are things that I know for a fact you don't want to put in yourself, and 2 of them sound made up. None of it sounds good.
You got calomel, which I think is tea. Chlorine, which goes in pools.
No, that's chamomile. That's chamomile. Calomel sounds made up. That sounds like something I put on, calamine sounds like stuff I put on anti-itch for my poison ivy. That makes sense. Does your dick itch when you get syphilis? I've never had syphilis.
You've got jalap, which I'm pretty sure is a wacky sidekick in a Norse movie.
Oh, gotta be. And then chlorine, which I've been told you shouldn't ingest.
Rush sent Lewis and Clark off with a big old batch of Thunderbolts before their trip, and is the reason that Lewis and Clark and their adventuring team made it back without succumbing to syphilitic madness.
Bullshit! No! Fuck you! No! You don't just get to say that!
It's true. They were drinking Thunderbolts, and that's how you don't get syphilis.
Okay, you can say they were drinking Thunderbolts. That still just sounds like they're drinking some bad off-brand malt liquor.
I was thinking like a new Monster Energy flavor, but like, the same thing, really.
Same thing!
Oh, so Dr. Thunderbolts, inventor of the whoring potion. That's who we're focusing on today.
All right.
Except Erasmus Darwin was born on December 12th, 1731.
Whoa, what?
Erasmus Darwin, born December 12th.
Not Charles.
Not Charles, Erasmus. Born December 12th, 1731 in Elston of the United Kingdom. Now, history books and biographies of the modern age remember him as a physician, a philosopher, a poet, and the grandfather of Charles Darwin. But unfortunately for Erasmus, being a grandfather was his only remarkable skill.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Just checking. Because I want to say, does he go by just Erasmus? Because I feel like I know that name.
Now, Erasmus was a would-be physician for his time, and during his career, he came up with a theory. Much like his skill set, it wasn't a very good theory. Erasmus posited that sleep was the almighty healer. Kind of true.
I mean, I have slept off many an illness, so yeah, I mean, he's not wrong.
Now, his next conclusion was that spinning at extreme speeds was the best way to induce sleep.
Okay, cool.
That was a bit less true.
That one's a bit the opposite, because you know what I always thought? Let's get on Tom's Twister and take a nap, because that's what I get on the Shazam, and I'm just like, nappy. Does everyone appreciate the very localized references to theme park rides that I'm sure don't mean anything to you?
No, Nathan.
Enjoy.
All of the fans of Six Flags St. Louis are loving this. They're eating it up.
I appreciate that, and also they're a fine patron of my business, so I appreciate their business. Thank you, Six Flags over St. Louis. I appreciate you.
Now, flash forward.
If you're looking for sponsorship opportunities, here's a great place to spend your money.
If Six Flags needs to advertise to people, it's just people that love to listen to history comedy podcasts. Because nothing lines up
I
with
will
Looney Tunes
absolutely dress up like that old guy and sing Vengabus over and over and over again for you.
That man is a nightmare creature, and I wish you wouldn't remind me he existed.
Oh, he's delightful, though. Please, can we cut him into the episode? Make it happen. I've referenced it. You must do so. I have the power.
Nathan, please. It is a myth. It is a myth that I can play 7 seconds of a song and not get sued. Frankly, I'm just putting my neck on the line with these hilarious outro goofs.
But we also keep doing it for people that we know. Come on, the Vengabus people aren't going to sue us. They're in Germany. We have diplomatic immunity or something. We're fine.
Now, large amounts of centripetal force basically cause the blood in your brain to vacation down to your lower body, as it were.
Wait, hold on. Are you describing centripetal force or like seeing a busty lad?
Or a sweet lady? Boner?
A sweet boner, because that sounds like the same thing.
Flash forward just a few years later to Benjamin Rush's time, and you would assume that an educated man would not take Erasmus's opinion seriously. But that did not stop Benjamin Rush from building the spinny chair.
Oh, what now?
The spinning chair was essentially, I mean, but, you know, it is what it sounds like. It's a suspended chair.
It's a chair that spins. No, I get it. But can we focus on a second that their argument is spinning around in circles makes you go to sleep. So the argument is sleep is good for you. Spinning around in circles makes you go to sleep. So let's spin you around in circles to fix you. Is that the logical tautology that they're trying to go for here? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So here's the problem. Doesn't spinning you around that fast just make you black out?
Yeah, that is what it does, but I don't know if Erasmus knew the difference in blacking out and sleeping.
So, like theoretically, I could the same argument instead of the spinny chair could just be the cast iron skillet of nap time, and I just bonk everybody on the head, and there we go.
Yeah, or you just use a lot of, raw absinthe, just some real pure...
Just take some, let's throw back some Thunderbolt, and we'll go to nappy nap time.
Knock 4 or 5 Thunderbolts, and you will be so blacked out that your syphilis is gone when you wake up 4 years later.
You will wake up in another zip code. There will be another Native American woman there that apparently is just riddled with syphilis, because that's the way you're describing this, and it offends me, but fine.
What Rush was after, though, was how sane you were after your wild ride in his chair.
Okay, what? So did he come up with a sanity testing method before we were gone? Like, did I drop out and he came up with that?
How cuckoo bananas are you before and after? A little cuckoo bananas, not very cuckoo bananas, kind of cuckoo bananas.
It's like a fucking BuzzFeed quiz. Like, what the fuck what is he doing?
Now, Rush applied a very similar yet altered theory to Darwin's concept of spinning the fuck out of them, wherein the force of having the fuck spun out of you.
Darwin's theory. It's Erasmus Darwin's
Erasmus Darwin's theory.
Because if you say Darwin's theory, that gives it credence that it does not deserve.
Stay tuned next week.
Oh God.
Wherein the force of having the fuck spun out of you might make your brain less swollen with vapors or liberalism, as I assume they were treating back then.
But your dick is very swollen with all that blood that it forced out.
Now, mentally ill patients who were given over to Benjamin Rush's wild ride were never really cured of their ailments, and instead they just kind of came out both dizzy and crazy, which is not a winning combo, I don't think.
No!
If you look up Benjamin Rush chair, you get a black and white picture of what appears to be the most deranged man I've ever seen, strapped to a chair with leather belts, with a giant spinning, like it's Benjamin Rush on a raised platform, cranking this comically large lever. It's the torture device I never knew I was terrified of.
Yeah, this is what's with the helmet?
I don't know. I think it's
Spencer, what's with the helmet? Spencer, all right, everybody pause. Everybody pause the podcast. Go Google this, and then understand why I'm asking Spencer. Why is the helmet?
I would assume it might be that they were so cuckoo bananas that maybe they might like bonk their head during the spin, and that would be bad for them.
Also, how does any of the... I'm looking at this, and the first 45 pictures are just a dude strapped to a chair. Like, this is just an electric chair without the shocky part. I don't see any spinning. I see nothing enjoyable about this. I'm very concerned.
Now, Nathan, this is all I have to say, basically, on Benjamin Rush. I really wanted
Benjamin Rush's tranquilizing chair? Go fuck yourself. The guy's strapped in.
No, Nathan, he's tranquil. He's having a good time.
A moral and physical thermometer. What the fuck is going on? Oh man, Google is a fucking weird place.
God. Okay, nope, no. I was gonna say we're done here, but nope, give me a second.
Water, oh my God, it's a list, oh my
All right, Nathan,
God.
Let's talk about what we're both looking at. So Benjamin Rush also devised a chart of moral substances, which he called the moral and physical thermometer. Let's talk about what's cool on the thermometer. So like up at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, you know, where things are nice and healthy, you've got water. And then if you want to knock it down about 20 degrees, a small beer. Between there, you've got milk and water, vinegar and water, molasses and water.
A lot of things and water.
Which, I get milk and water, that's skim milk. What the fuck are the other two? Who's having distilled syrup?
I mean, it's a valid question. I mean, this vinegar, molasses and water, vinegar and water, is that just what LaCroix is?
Yes, and now Nathan, let's talk about from 70 to 50 degrees, the cool spot. What are your side effects? Well, if you drink water or a small beer, then you're more likely to experience health, wealth, serenity of mind, reputation, long life, and happiness.
Cool.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Now let's talk about degrees 40 to 10. Ooh, we're getting chilly. It's a brisk
40
fall
to 10,
day.
40 to, oh, it's getting negative. Oh, I understand. This is a bad thermometer, by the way. This is a bad thermometer.
It's an extremely bad thermometer. It goes down to negative 70. That's a very bad thermometer.
It starts 70 is the high and negative 70 is the low. That doesn't, there's no scale that makes sense on, fucking Benjamin Rush. Go fuck yourself.
This thermometer does not help Europeans' disdain for our Fahrenheit system. It really doesn't.
God, no, not even a little bit.
Now let's talk about 40 to 10 degrees. From 40 to 10, you've got cider, wine, a porter, a strong beer, which give off cheerfulness, strength, and nourishment when taken only at meals and in moderate quantities. Makes sense, But we're at 10 degrees. This is lethally cold. Washington's gonna die in this cold. So let's see how we have 80 degrees of it gets worse. At 0 degrees, you have weak punch or strong punch. That's like 5 degrees and negative 5.
What is that talking about?
We have crossed the line.
What kind of punch did they have in the 1700s?
We have crossed the line into intemperance. Somebody is spiking the punch bad. Now, I'm just gonna go by tens of the drinks that drop by 10 degrees on the moral scale.
Sure.
From punch, you've got toddy. You've got grog.
No, stop it. No, don't fucking skip over toddy like that's a goddamn thing. Just drop toddy, grog. What kind of pirate bullshit are we on right now?
Grog, you know, an orc who's been turned into a drink.
Grog, I get. Grog is like a stereo. I get. Fine. I have a concept for that. Keep going.
Can you explain flip to me? Because I don't know what that is.
Fuck off! No, I can't. What are they doing? What are you talking about, flip?
There's slings. You want a nice glass of slings?
What is happening?
There's bitters infused with spirits, which I'm pretty sure is just a vodka Sprite.
Wait, isn't it just bitters infused? Isn't that just like a martini?
You've got morning drams.
What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm pretty sure Morning Drams is like a very, very cool like Atlanta hip hop act right now, but that may just be me. Fact check me on that later.
Morning drams sounds like the alternative to fluminamide that was banned in the 60s.
Very likely, very likely. All right, so what is that? Where are we at now? Where on a scale of what
negative
to what,
60.
Where are we at?
We are at negative 60 degrees,
Okay,
Nathan.
so what you're saying is the next words that come out of your mouth are the worst thing that can happen.
Yes, the next the worst drink you can possibly consume. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, yes, I've strapped in. I'm ready for moonshine. Bring it.
Pepper in rum.
Go fuck off. Fuck off. No. What the fuck? What are you talking
rum
about?
Is the worst drink
Captain
you can
Morgan
ever drink.
is the worst thing in the history of time. What are some of the things that may come of drinking? So if I drink the good, I will be healthy, wealthy, and wise, as Benny Franks would have laid down on us, the pimp founder of America.
Correct. So you're asking, what happens when you drink?
I'm asking is, do we have any sort of witty aphorisms about what happens when we hit the grog a little too hard?
Well, Nathan, let me tell you what happens when you drink anything from strong punch to pepper and rum, which is the Satan drink, as we all know, the vile fluid that will destroy society. You are prone to any of the following vices: idleness, peevishness, quarreling, fighting.
Aren't those the same?
Lying.
Okay.
Swearing.
Fine.
Obscenity.
Those are
which
the
is
same.
the same thing.
This is just synonyms.
Fraud.
Okay.
Anarchy.
Go fuck yourself.
Hatred of a just government.
Those, again, synonyms.
Murder.
Oh, I escalated quickly.
Suicide.
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right, cool.
Diseases. You are prone to any of the following diseases.
Okay.
Gout.
Fuck off.
Sickness. Sickness is a disease you are prone to.
Sorry, that is actually accurate. And gout may be accurate, but I feel like gout's more like I ate a lot of barbecue and rich meats.
Puking and tremors in the hands in the morning.
I mean, that is, of all the things he said, that's actually pretty good. That's actually fairly accurate, yeah.
Bloatedness.
Yeah, all right.
Inflamed eyes.
Okay, not wrong. I mean, this may be a little bit less of the toddy and a little bit more of that dank herb, but fine.
A red nose.
That I feel like you don't turn into Rudolph the Red-Nosed Goddamn Reindeer.
Sore and swelled legs.
Drink the grog and get swole? Is that what he's saying? I don't get this. I don't understand.
You will have disgustingly huge calves.
Such calves.
Jaundice.
What?
Pains in the limbs. And burning in the hands and feet.
Oh, okay.
You ready for this next one?
Sure.
Dropsy.
What the hell? Dropsy? Is that the
I don't know what this means.
Is that the 8th dwarf that nobody knew about? Like happy, dopey, dropsy, and what the fuck is going on here? I'm pretty sure dropsy's like some sort of like old-timey, like it got you like the cholera got you or something like that, but still.
Fucking dropsy. I'm sorry, I can't hang on to shit.
Dropsy's like the shittiest Pokemon too. Like, come on now. Oh, dropsy.
Epilepsy.
What the fuck? Come on.
Melancholy.
I mean,
melancholy, that one's fair.
Melancholy, yeah. Is it followed by the infinite sadness? No? All right, just me?
It's madness.
Yeah, why not?
Palsy.
Sure.
Death.
Okay, fine. Why not?
Now, Nathan, are you ready for the punishments you deserve and might get if you drink anything from strong punch to pepper and rum.
What the fuck did Benjamin Rush have against booze?
Are you ready? Do you think you're ready?
I'm absolutely not. I don't know. I just died. What more can I get ready for?
Debt.
I mean, that's not inaccurate. I'm positive that slings cost just an arm and a leg.
Black eyes.
Okay.
Rags.
Wait, what? Like you're given rags? Like,
You are given rags.
or you live in rags? You can only. I don't. Okay, fine.
And if that rag touches the ground, you have to drink another pepper and rum.
Oh Jesus.
Hunger.
I don't know about it. Nah. I mean, no.
Sentenced to the workhouse.
Cool. Why not?
Jail.
Which
I think are the same thing.
No, that was the nice thing about old timey times. Is they had varying degrees of how like you could go to the jail just because you're poor. You could go to the jail that we wanted to work you to death in, or you could just go to this rotten jail. They were very good about it.
Tied to the whipping post.
Oh, cool. Yeah, let's do that.
This one just says poffed.
Now, hold on. No, it says whipping. I think it says whipping.
Oh,
post.
my bad. I've misread whipping post. Okay, can I address how difficult this has been for me to read?
It is
because of this.
Why the fuck are F's S's?
So when there's two S's in a word, the first of the second S's is made to look like this giant fucking F thing, and they eventually got rid of that because they realized people can read two S's consecutively
people weren't insane.
and not die. I have absolutely. Oh, no. I can read this last one. Castle Island.
Wait a minute. What?
Nathan, one of the punishments for drinking your morning drams is you can be sent to Castle Island.
Of course you could. That kind of sounds like a cool, vacation.
It kind of does, but, I think Alcatraz is an island castle. Last but of course, we have gallows.
Sure.
But frankly, I don't know if any of these punishments apply because you've died from the disease of death or killed yourself from the vice of suicide.
Basically, at the end of the road, no matter what, you're dead. You're either you're dead, you killed yourself, you killed somebody, or you got hung. Someone's dying.
And let it be known, this is what happens when you drink slings instead of thunderbolts.
Benjamin Rush can go fuck himself.
That was, without a doubt, not how I expected it to go. But I am so glad we decided to touch on the moral thermometer.
I don't know.
I got such a laugh out of that.
I'm kind of upset that you contemplated a world in which you weren't going to tell me about the moral thermometer. You asshole. What else have you been holding out on me?
I must have just forgotten about it. Well, like I said earlier at the top of the episode, somewhere between our discussion of Six Flags and the Lewis and Clark movie, this was the very first cock and bull I ever wrote up. Because as I'm sure hardcore fans of the podcast may know, people who have dived into our lore, this started out as a school project of mine for my senior year.
I don't know how far into the lore they have to dig. I mean, that was literally 3 episodes ago. We talked about it. It was a thing. It was real.
I want to thank Driftless Pony Club for allowing us to use their song "They Were Buffalo on the Ark" the album Cholera.
And Driftless Pony Club, I love you. Don't take my incessant insistence that Spencer plays random other tunes at the end of this show. Hatred. I am obsessed with that track. It is a banger. I just find Vangabus to be hilarious.
Now, what else do I have to think? Anyway, feel free to leave a review on iTunes or Twitter. Nathan, I need to. Welcome to the Conspiracy
realize if they
Corner.
leave a review on Twitter, it goes nowhere, right? It's just into the ether. It's into the dark hole that is the internet. That does nothing for us. Why the fuck would you endorse that?
Welcome to Conspiracy Corner.
Write a review in a bottle, tie that bottle to a pigeon, throw that pigeon out the window. That's as good as putting it on fucking Twitter.
Never mind. We actually do have a review.
What? Oh, God, breaking news. Holy shit. Call off the presses. Hold on. I'm pulling this up. I have to read this contractually. Holy shit, I found one. There it is. Look at that. All right, person. I don't know who you are. I don't care. I'm reading this. Just started listening to your podcast, and though I haven't gotten through all the episodes, what's wrong with you? It only takes a day. I find the topics you talk about and your commentary very interesting. Well, you should. We're delightful. Hope you continue to post episodes. We will, as long as Spencer figures out how to work recording equipment. By the way, your voices are hella rad. Well, all right, we can date this person. It's the 90s. Can I have a lock of your blonde hair, Spencer? I miss seeing it from behind. Spencer, you're being... okay. Love St. Charles resident. Spencer's being gaslit by a goddamn member of the community. I appreciate you, whoever you are. Yeah.
I'm racking my brain to figure out what Or who?
Oh.
That is from Stanley Leroy.
It's from Stanley Leroy.
Thank you very much.
Or Stan Leroy. It could be either or. We're not going to discriminate.
Oh, I completely forgot about my friend Stan Leroy. What
exactly.
the fuck are
See, you needed that. And he's not your friend. He's hiding behind you. He misses you from behind. He has admired, Stan Leroy has admired you from afar. The hair, there's less of it. There's less of it for sure than there used to be. But Stan Leroy, you send me your address and I will send you a picture of myself giving you a thumbs up, because that's the first review.
I want to congratulate you, Nathan, on getting through that without editorializing every single sentence.
I mean, come on. It's like the only reason I'm here.
I feel like it's hard for the listener to distinguish where the review started and then you ended.
Well, reviewer, if you want to see where the review started and where it ended, you could go to the Apple Podcast app, go to the review section, and when you're done reading it, leave one of your own. I'll read it and editorialize it right here, just like this.
Thank you for tuning in. Come back next week. We've got another one that I think you're really going to love. Do you like my promo work?
I love how you teased it in the most generic way humanly possible.
Next week.
Vagabus.